Chapter 1. When healing begins with Tawheed. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the pain becomes louder than the distractions. When the heartbreak, the betrayal, the grief, the loneliness can no longer hide behind productivity or prayer routines or well-meaning advice. You sit in silence, and it roars. This book was born in that silence. Not the silence of despair, but the silence where Allah's names echo. Where you stop asking the world to fix you, and instead whisper, Ya Latif, Ya Jabbar, Ya Mujib, Ya Shafi. Where you stop performing strength and start surrendering to divine mercy. Make Allah your therapist is not a slogan. It's a spiritual revolution. It's a return to the one who knows your trauma without you needing to explain it. Who witnessed every betrayal. Who counted every tear. Who heard every silent cry. Who never slighted your feelings, your grief, minimized your pain, or told you to just move on. This book is for the empaths, the survivors, the seekers. For those who feel too broken to be chosen, too ashamed to be healed, too exhausted to keep pretending. It's for those who've tried nothing and those who tried everything. Praying, journaling, therapy, self-help, even numbing and still feel like something sacred is missing. Here, we reclaim healing as worship. We make our dhikr the medicine. We let the 99 of Allah's divine names become our diagnosis and our cure. We stop outsourcing our worth to people who never saw us, and instead anchor our identity in the one who created us with purpose. This is not a replacement for therapy. It's a restoration of Tawheed in your healing journey. It's a reminder that Allah is not just your creator. He is your witness, your healer, your therapist. You were not created to be invisible. But invisibility became your survival strategy. It began quietly, maybe in childhood, when your emotions were too loud for the adults around you. You learned to shrink so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. You learned to smile when you were hurting, to stay quiet when you were scared, to be good even when you were breaking. You became fluent in emotional suppression, mistaking silence for strength and self-erasure for humility. And the world rewarded you for it. Teachers praised your obedience. Friends admired your resilience. Family called you mature for your age. But no one asked what it cost you. No one saw the panic behind your poise, the grief behind your grace, the exhaustion behind your excellence. You became the person who held everyone else together, while quietly falling apart. So you kept shrinking. You shrank in relationships, where love was conditional and attention was transactional. You shrank in communities, where vulnerability was seen as weakness and trauma was either a secret or considered taboo. You shrank in spiritual spaces, where pain was spiritualized and healing was oversimplified. You were told to have sabr, make dua, trust Allah, but never taught how to process the wounds that made those acts feel impossible. Eventually, you started shrinking in front of Allah. You stopped asking for healing because you thought you didn't deserve it or no one was listening. You stopped making dua for justice because you thought it was petty. You stopped crying in sujood because you thought it was ungrateful or wouldn't be acknowledged. You started praying like you were apologizing for everything. You started worshipping like you were hiding, minimizing everything. But Allah never asked you to disappear. The trauma of being unseen is not just emotional, it's spiritual. It distorts your sense of divine attention. It makes you question whether Allah sees you the way others failed to. It makes you wonder if your pain is valid in the eyes of the one who created you. It breeds self-doubt. It causes you to question your worth and eventually you barely see your own value. You forget He is Al-Basir, the all-seeing. He saw you when you cried alone in the bathroom so no one would hear. He saw you when you stayed silent to keep the peace. He saw you when you gave love and got manipulation in return. He saw you when you broke, and still chose to say, Ya Allah, are you there? And He didn't just see you, He honored you. He recorded it all. The Qur'an is full of stories of the unseen. Hajar running between hills, alone. Maryam giving birth in isolation. Yusuf in the well. Musa in the basket. These were not just historical events, they were divine affirmations. I see you. I choose you. I heal you. Healing begins when you stop waiting for others to validate your pain and start believing that Allah already has. When you stop performing worthiness and start receiving divine mercy. When you stop asking, why me? And start whispering, why a Rahman, heal me. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not too much. You are seen. You are loved. You are already on your way back to him.